Hello, and welcome to the Faculty of Health breakout room. We're happy to have you all here. We're going to do a quick presentation today about the Faculty of Health at York University, and then we're going to go on to a Q&A with some of our students. If you're watching this as a recording, you will see the presentation. We're happy that you could join us today, and I will be starting the presentation now. So welcome. As I mentioned, you're in the room for the Faculty of Health at York University. The Faculty of Health is one of the bigger faculties on campus. We do have 6 different programs, and I'm going to talk about each one a little bit today, go into a little bit of detail. But if you do have follow-up questions or anything like that, we are always available, and we do have program-specific events and things like that in the new year that you might also find helpful as an applicant. So my name is Laura Sykes. I'm a recruitment and liaison officer. Between myself and my colleague Allison Ozog, we answer any queries that come into our email and work with applicants until they accept an offer to York University. So I know that some of you have already been in the main room and saw a presentation about York from our central recruitment team, but I just wanted to go through this really quickly in case you're watching this as a recording. We are located in Toronto, Ontario, which is the largest city in Canada. The programs that I'm going to talk about today in the Faculty of Health, they are all located at our main campus at Keele and Steeles. So there are other campuses such as our Markham campus and our Glendon campus, but the programs we're talking about today are all at our Keele campus. So it's a very large university. There's over 200 programs. There's 53,000 undergraduate students from 175 countries. It's a lot of people and a lot of choices. So how do you decide? Well, what we like to talk about when considering a program, for those of you who maybe have applied to a few programs because you haven't decided yet, or if you haven't applied yet because you're still wondering what is the right fit for you, you need to think about what you're good at. Where are your best grades right now? What are you passionate about? What do you do well in because it doesn't feel like work? So what do you want to study? You might also want to think about what type of degree you want. If there's future goals, such as graduate level studies, medical school, things like that, you might want to look into what the requirements are for the schools that you're interested in. It's possible there's a degree requirement, but not always. You want to think about when you want to start. Most of our programs do have a fall start. A few of them have winter or summer starts, but for the most part, we're looking at a start of fall 2026 as our next intake. So that will be September 2026. You also want to look at how big or small do you want your program to be. Maybe you want a wide variety of options for courses, and you want to have lots of opportunity to do different specializations and certificates and things like that. Or maybe what's important to you is getting to know your professors and your classmates and having a smaller group, being able to make those connections and network and get opportunities for things like research. And then, of course, if you have a career outcome in mind, we do talk often about graduate level studies. A lot of our students are interested in things like becoming a psychologist or a doctor or a dentist or lots of other things like that. You would want to start from your end point, from your goal, and take a look at what the requirements are to get there. So if you want to be a doctor and you have some medical schools in mind, look at those medical schools, see what kind of requirements they have. Is it a degree type? Is it specific courses? Is it GPA? Is it the MCAT? So looking at those sorts of things and working your way backwards to your undergraduate degree is a great way to ensure your success. So I mentioned we have 6 programs in the Faculty of Health. We have our Global Health program, Health Studies, Kinesiology and Health Science, Nursing, Neuroscience, and Psychology. Now you'll see those letters beside each degree, and I'll talk about what those means. Those are the degree types that you can go into with each program. You'll notice some of them have more than one, and some of them just have the one degree type. Our larger programs are things like psychology, kinesiology, and health science, and our nursing program. And the smaller ones tend to be global health, health studies, and neuroscience. So talking first about global health, this program has a Bachelor of Arts option, BA, and a Bachelor of Science option, BSc. And you might be wondering at this point, Which one is better? Which one do I choose? And the answer is I don't know. We have a few programs that do offer both BA and BSc options, and it's not going to be a straight answer for everybody. It's going to depend on what you are interested in, what your goals are, what your strengths are. If you are terrible in math and science, but you are still interested in health, perhaps a BA is the way for you to go. The core courses in any program that have both a BA and a BSc are the same. So you're going to be taking the same global health required courses as everybody. The difference comes in with an additional math, science, and computer science course. So this will be true across the other programs that also have BA and BSc. Global Health is a wonderful program, and I think it's a wonderful program for our international students. It looks at health from a much larger perspective. So it is a small program, about 100 incoming students, which means you're really connecting with your professors and your classmates. We have lots of research opportunities within this program. What really sort of describes this program is talking about the global pandemic that we were recently living through. Everybody was sort of working together. This wasn't one area or one country. This was worldwide. And looking at health from a global perspective is a really interesting take on it. We do have fourth year practicum available. You can travel, you can stay in Toronto, you can go to your home country, or you can go to a completely different third country if that's something you're interested in. It's going to be a great experience for you to go into the healthcare field and practice what you've been learning. We also have our health studies program. This is a Bachelor of Health Studies, BHS. This is a unique program. This is for the people who are interested in the healthcare field as a whole, but not necessarily looking to be on the front lines. Maybe you like looking at social determinants of health as a whole. Maybe you want to go into management. Maybe you want to make things more efficient for hospitals in terms of staffing and seeing patients. This is a wonderful program for that. We do have two degree options in this. One is the health studies degree. This is more flexible. It is an honors degree, but you have the ability to double major or minor. We also have health policy, management, and digital health. This is considered a specialized honors program, so it is a bit more restrictive. You won't be able to do those double majors or major minor options, but it does have a fourth year practicum, and again, where you can be working in the field and practicing what you're learning. We have our neuroscience degree. This is a Bachelor of Science, and this program is a very small program, and it's fairly new. We do have a graduating class now, but it's only about 5 years old at this point. So 70 students, there are three entry pathways: biology, kinesiology, or psychology. Now, the students coming in under biology would be in the Faculty of Science. Kinesiology and psychology will be under our faculty, the Faculty of Health. That matters in terms of where your advising is, where your home base is, things like your orientation, sort of like where your home is for the next 4 years. The entry pathways do matter in the first year when you're going to take courses related, introductory courses related to that pathway. But after that, second, third, and fourth year, you're basically a neuroscience student. There's lots of research opportunities in this program. So this program is studying the brain at a very zoned in level. So you might be looking at the brain in relation to diseases like MS, or you might be looking at depression or anxiety or autism. So you're really studying and getting in there and looking at the brain in terms of health. We have our kinesiology and health science degree. So this one does have the BA and BSc options. And as I mentioned, they're both going to take the same core courses. The difference will be in the math, science, and computer science requirements. So this is a highly ranked program. It's a wonderful program. What makes our program different from other schools is that we have both kinesiology and health science. A lot of times you'll see a kinesiology program or you'll see a health science program. We're studying both sides of it. So basically, we're looking at the body, how it moves, how to fix how it moves, and how to make it better, and how that relates to our overall health. Lots of experiential learning in this course. You'll do things called integrated physical activity for life. That's where you're actually going out and doing the various sports. There's things like case studies and guest speakers. You can see in this picture here, somebody is in the fitness lab. So it's a really hands-on, wonderful program for those of you who are interested in the actual movement of the body. Excuse me. We have our psychology program. Once again, a BA and a BSc option, same as the other ones. It's ranked very highly. It's one of the top 5 psychology programs in Canada. This is a large program. And what that means is that we have the largest course selection of any school in Canada. We have specializations and certificates that you can do as part of your program. So if you come in and you take a course and you really love that course, maybe it's about child and youth development, and you think, I want to get into this and learn more about it, you can specialize in that area. And so you basically take a concentration of courses about that subject. Lots of hands-on research opportunities, lots of hands-on learning as well. So we've seen the fMRI lab mentioned with neuroscience. This is available for psychology students as well. And same thing, they'll have case studies, they'll have guest lectures, they'll have research opportunities. It's a really wonderful course. We have our nursing program. Bachelor of Science in Nursing is what BSCN stands for. So this program is hands-on and it is preparing you for one job, and that is to become a nurse. So you'll have both clinical placements in the workplace. You'll be shadowing nurses in hospitals and different healthcare settings, but you'll also have access as you're learning to our simulation centers and labs. It's a great way to learn because these mannequins, while very lifelike, they do not care if you make a mistake. And it's a great place to learn what you've been reading about and putting it into practice before you go out there in the actual healthcare field. Students who complete this program are on track to complete the nursing exam to become a registered nurse. Now, we do have a few different entries, and they can be tricky about who is eligible to apply for each one. So if you are interested and have questions, you can reach out to us about this. And then co-op. So the most experiential education of all. This is an optional program. It's not something you will need to apply to as part of your application process. Once you're in your first year and getting going with your courses, you can decide if you want to take the co-op path, and it will be with a course in your second year, followed by going into the workforce for those paid terms. It can be anywhere from 4 months to 12 months. It is a new program, so we don't have a lot of examples yet of the students, but it is very popular already. And it gives you that chance to make money and practice what you're learning and being in a job. So that's the end of this presentation. We do have our email address there. Myself and Allison are the ones answering that, hlthrec@yorku.ca. We're always available to answer questions about programs, about your application, things like that. And as I mentioned, we have lots of events coming up in the winter semester. Program-specific events, talking about next steps, things like that. So I do highly recommend looking on our website. Our websites are very informative in terms of requirements, in terms of what courses you're taking and things like that. So it's a great first stop, and it will also list all of our upcoming events as they are planned. So thank you very much for watching the presentation. And we will move on to our Q&A now. And for those of you watching the recording, thank you so much for taking part in our recording today. Thank you.